Host to Barcelona, defending champions from last season, up against Basque side Athletic Club. Both of these teams, of course, as part of the four-team tournament, they are fighting for the right for a final spot this weekend, where the winners of this game will take on either Real Madrid or Atletico Madrid. Kick-off just a few moments away, so we can dive straight into the team news from both managers. Hansi Flick made 3 changes. Has dropped down out of the starting lineup. He's replaced by Rudy Bardaggi alongside Ferran Torres and Fermin Lopez. The other change comes in midfield. Pedri partners Frenkie de Jong as Eric Garcia moves into the back four in place of Gerard Martin. So Barcelona in full. Joan Garcia in goal. Koundé, Kubasi, Garcia and Balde at the back. Pedri and de Jong anchoring the midfield in front of a front four of Bardaggi, Torres, Rafinha and Lopez. Athletic Club not in great form in La Liga. They were held to a 1-1 draw at home to Osasuna on Saturday, and they also make 3 changes. Unai Simon, Spain's number alongside Wihan Sanset and Mikel Mikel Jauguizar. Nico Williams drops to the bench in favour of Alex Berenguer. Roberto Navarro is preferred to Gorka Gurazeta, and Iñaki Williams captains Ernesto Valverde's team. Plenty of excitement in this one, plenty of firepower on the bench. Robert Lewandowski is also amongst Barcelona's substitutes tonight. He is the highest current squad in this tournament. He does enjoy a Super League goal. He's got 5 in 6 games in his previous outings. And based on this weekend, he may well be relied upon by Hansi Flick at some stage. The match officials for today just undergoing a final few checks. It is an all-Spanish team here tonight. Isidro Diaz de Mera Escuderes is the referee. Jorge Figueroa Vázquez is on VAR duty, with Diego Aguada and Ruben Hernandez as the 2 assistants either side tonight. 2 captains, Iñaki Williams and Rafinha, have now returned into their respective halves. Both sides in their traditional home strips tonight. Barcelona in their iconic claret and blue, and Athletic Club in red and white. So Scuderes just signals over to Rafinha to say that we are ready to get ourselves underway, and it will be Barcelona who start things off tonight, with Ferran Torres once more leading the line for Hansi Flick's defending champions. Defending the La Liga crown and this one as well, after winning the treble under the former Bayern Munich boss last year. They beat Real Madrid in the final of this competition and the Copa del Rey, and they've got themselves a 4-point edge on Xabi Alonso at this point in the league campaign. Here is Eric Garcia, reverted back to centre half this evening for Barcelona. He's been a bit of a utility man so far this season. Played right the way across the back line, and in recent weeks, with Pedri missing a couple of games through injury, at the base of the midfield, but that's cheaply given away by Koundé. Sanset with a chance to break away down the right hand side and force a corner from Koundé. Could play that from the Athletic Club midfielder. He will be given the licence to bomb on, with Jauguizar and Rego at the base of their engine room. Berenguer and Navarra either side of Iñaki Williams. Nico Williams is an interested spectator from the off. So we Berenguer to take the corner, floated in towards the 6-yard box, and is headed up and over the bar by Paredes. The last touch came off a Barcelona head there, according to the referee, so it will be a corner again for Athletic Club, but over on their right hand side, and it does indeed take a slight nick off Eric Garcia there. He does well in the end. Barcelona's masked man, wearing that this evening to protect a facial injury, gets a really important touch on that one. So Athletic Club on the front foot in the opening stages. It is Berenguer again, floated in towards the penalty spot, headed down. by Kovacic, and that is going to dribble out for a third corner. 2 minutes gone. Back on this left flank now. All in favour of Ernesto Valverde's team thus far. They certainly don't look like a team who are in a bit of a dull streak in La Liga. Just 1 win in the last 6 across League and Champions League. Link up down this near side between Berenguer and Guairo. Guairo to the byline. Drills that across, was well gathered by Joan Garcia rather. Fantastic performance from him at the weekend against Espanyol, his former side. The pressure of going back to the RCDE stadium, coped with it very, very impressively, and Barcelona emerged with all 3 points. Kovacic just punches that one over the halfway line. First involvement for Bardghji. It's a rare start for him tonight. Lamine Yamal given a break from the off at least. The 20-year-old was one of those summer arrivals that was embroiled in registration chaos at the start of the campaign. Eventually his paperwork was all ticked off, and the Sweden international got his first Barcelona goal against Real Betis a few weeks back. Mr. Valverde, who won this competition of course when he was Barcelona manager, out on the edge of his technical area, just ushering João Guithar slightly further forward from his anchoring midfield position. He really emerged as a vital player for Athletic Club this season, the homegrown star. Nice little swivel of the hips down this near left hand side by Navarro. Tries to dink across into the box, only half cleared away, picked up by Rega. Athletic Club will load it back in again. Koundé with the header. Needed a helping hand there, and it is eventually just hoofed away up to the halfway line. Athletic Club will come once more. Fizzed pass forward for Navarro. Not able to gather it in. It will be a throw-in for Barcelona in their right-back position. 5 minutes gone. A nice feisty start here, certainly from Athletic Club. Here is Jules Koundé, just steps over the halfway line from right back. He's forced in field immediately by Navarro. We're already starting to see the variations in play here, and that's the ball into the channel. Barcelona could be in round the back here, digged across to the 6-yard line. Oh, and Bardghji just can't quite get a header on that one. There's Rafinha there, who just stole in behind the space left by Arezzo. And Unai Simon was caught in two minds. He half came out and then retreated backwards. Rafinha with the instant cross into the box. Bardghji just not able to grow a couple of inches there to nod that back on goal. Really direct play from Barcelona. Unai Simon is able to breathe a major sigh of relief there, because he goes to the ground and he did not look at all convincing as Rafinha simply skipped beyond him. It's the closest we've come at either end here in Jeddah. Just to flag up, we will also have live audio coverage here on Flashscore from that Madrileño derby tomorrow evening. It's also a 7 PM start. Diego Simeone and Xabi Alonso going toe-to-toe once more. A goal kick for Athletic Club. Rafinha not able to gather in that pass. Just squirts out of play. He's already showing just how dangerous he can be in those types of situations, though, the Barcelona captain. Can also bring your attention to other action this evening on Flashscore. It's a huge night of Premier League games. The festive period is extended on into January. We've got 6 games, all starting at 7:30 p.m. if you're game hopping with us tonight. We've got live audio coverage from all of them, and I will do my very, very best to keep you updated on the live scores. And then to round off the night, if you're still sticking with us, we've got 2 matches at 8:15. Burnley at home to Darren Fletcher's Manchester United, and then Newcastle at home to Leeds. Kick off in those 7:30 games, just a little over 20 minutes away. Jules Koundé is down here, to be caught on the top of the foot by Sunset. Free kick in favour of Barcelona, right on this near left-hand touchline, midway inside the Barcelona half of the field. Quickly taken as Boyro tries to bustle his way past Pedri. It's eventually turned over here by Athletic Club. Berenguer will roll it across to the advanced Areso. Just whip that across the face of Joan Garcia's goal. Will be kept in play here though. Athletic Club will try and build once more with Navarro. Now Sunset, curled in, straight into the gloves of Joan Garcia. That's the first attempt on target of the game. Rihan Sunset, who was sensational for Valverde's team last season. 15 La Liga goals from midfield, just the 1 so far this season. He does have a couple against Barcelona in his career, and that was an early warning shot for them. Rafinha trying to turn provider there to Balde, but the pass forward is cut out by Dani Vivian. Eric Garcia goes through the back of Iñaki Williams, and it'll be a free kick for the Basque side. Frankie de Jong was really well there just to anticipate that pass up to the halfway line. Bardghji shielded in front of Boyro. Now Pedri. Alejandro Balde, arm aloft over on that far left-hand side. Able to step over the halfway line though. Barcelona will just keep possession momentarily. Back over to Balde now. Wanted to go with the 1-2 on Rafinha there, but Rafinha is caught. No foul, says the referee. Play on. Eventually will fall for Balde, but that's snuffed out by Vivian. Rafinha has stayed down there as Athletic Club play on. Iñaki Williams is away in behind here. Try and step away from Pau Kubasi, but the teenager sticks with him, and eventually the offside flag is up against Williams. The referee Escuderos just go back and check on Rafinha here, who was caught by Alex Berenguer. A tight offside decision, that one, against Iñaki Williams. He was battling with Pau Kubasi right on the halfway line. We do have VAR in operation this evening. And also, in case you are new to this 4-team format in the Spanish Super Cup, there will be no extra time if the scores are level at the end of 90 plus minutes. It will go straight to penalties. Part of the streamlining of the tournament. 6th time it's been played here in Saudi Arabia, the 7th edition of a 4-man setup. Here is Fermin Lopez, just an arc across in from the right hand side, cleared away up to the halfway line. Frankie de Jong unable to find Pedri. Balde again is the free man over on that far side. Berenguer and Areso yet to be able to get to grips with him and Rafinha. Pedri will loft one over the top. Bardghji not able to keep that one in play. Goal kick for Athletic Club. Valverde's side have got a busy January on the horizon. Back back in Champions League action twice more before the end of the month as they try and fight themselves back into potential contention for a knockout stage position. It's not been great for them so far. They've only won 1 out of 6, but they do still have a chance. As Berenguer links up once more with Arezzo. Arezzo just stronger in the challenge over on that far side. Now Vivian. Again, another offside against Athletic Club. Yeah, so they go to Atlanta on the 21st of January, and then it's the final game of the league phase at home to Sporting Lisbon a week later. So still an opportunity for them there. Barcelona themselves have got work to do. They're 15th in the giant league table. They go to Slavia Prague and then host FC Copenhagen, so you would anticipate that they will be okay. Here's Balde stepping in off that left hand side once more. He's got space to race over the halfway line, links up with Torres, cross hoisted into the penalty area. Lopez can't take it down. Koundé will win the second ball rather. And then Bardghji is out-muscled by Boira. Quick throw-in taken by Koundé. Forced back towards the centre circle. Pedri will switch it once more to Alejandro Balde. Again, another delayed offside flag, much to the frustration of Hansi Flick. The referee just clarifying that might have actually been a handball decision against Balde as he tried to bring it under control. That is handball. Hansi Flick, unsurprisingly, doesn't agree with that one. One name that we did forget to mention that's also on the bench for Barcelona tonight is Marcus Rashford. Started at the weekend against Espanyol. He's one of the players that was given a break by Flick. Drawn at half-time in that one as well. Two late changes that made all the difference. Olmo and Lewandowski. Here's Koundé. Bardghji. Lovely feet there to get away from a couple of challenges. Does well to find Lopez. He'll try and float that one forward for Ferran Torres. Well dealt with by Rega. Now Pedri. Recovery there from João Guithar. Lovely feet though from Pedri's almost elastic in those situations. Finds Rafinha. Bardghji can loft it back in towards Pedri. Straight at Simon. Pedri started and finished that move. Great balance and poise just to dip away from João Guithar. Lofted back over to the left hand side. Rafinha winger to winger. Finds Bardghji. Pedri keeps it down from about 15 yards out, but straight down the throat of Joan Garcia. Quarter of an hour gone here in Jeddah. No goals, but plenty of excitement. Sunset and Pedri, the two players kept out at both ends. Excuse me. Here is Pedri again. Back inside the centre circle. Pinged over once more for Balde. He's got Rafinha in front of him down that left-hand side. Just steps in away from Arezzo. Pedri will take over midway inside inside the Athletic Club half. Kovacic rolled up to Koundé. Cross is cleared away at the near post there. That'll be a throw-in for Barcelona. On this near right-hand side, just in front of Athletic Club's penalty area. Pedri back to Kovacic. Slip there from Pedri. You don't often see that, but he's helped out by his midfield partner, Frankie de Jong. They're given away by de Jong. Iñaki Williams is snapped into though by Eric Garcia, and Bardghji will just about keep the ball in play for Barcelona. De Jong again, on the half turn in for Pedri. De Jong is just shackled back over the halfway line there by Rego. Another pass infield given away by Barcelona. Here is Sanse. He's got support down this near left-hand side from Navarro, who tried to go with the first-time ball over the top for Williams, but it's blocked away. Boiro will go back to Vivian, who goes back to Simon. Great press here from Barcelona as they just chase across that Athletic Club backline, and Aresso's pass is wayward. Barcelona will win back possession. Here is Bardghji. Wants to get in on that left foot. Spots the overlapping run here of Jules Koundé. Barcelona have got their opponents pinned back here inside their defensive third. Lopez steps across to help out. De Jong pings it across once more for Balde. Everybody but Joan Garcia pushed up into the opposition half of the field here as Barcelona just try and draw Ernesto Valverde's team out. Ball over the top for Torres to chase, and he's collided with Simon. Accidental there from the Spanish international teammates. Torres had gone steaming through, and Simon was always favourite to get there, had every right to go for it, Torres, and takes a whack in the face for his troubles as well. He's been the main man for Barcelona this season. Robert Lewandowski's well-documented injury problems have handed him another chance, and 11 league goals. It's already his best ever return. If you compare his position this season, he only started 12 league games in 2024-25. He's already started 14, so no longer just an impact sub for Hansi Flick. Simon with the long ball forward. Kouassi does really well there up against Sanse, just in front of his own penalty area. He's even got himself a no-nonsense centre-back's haircut now, Pau Kouassi. He's become the senior partner in Barcelona's central defensive partnerships this season. He is the regular pick now. He relied on Inigo Martinez in the previous campaign, but it's himself now against Garcia, Koundé, Ronald Araujo. Here is Bardghji. Again, want to get in on that left foot, just waiting for a little run over on the far side from Rafinha or Torres. Just checks his progress ever so slightly here for Fermin Lopez. Now Eric Garcia. Plenty of space to step forward over on that far left-hand side. Balde. Garcia once more. Torres, lovely little layoff there, taken in by Fermin Lopez, big save from Unai Simon, and that's the best chance of the game so far. Barcelona cut through Athletic Club with ease. Pedri, the conductor, once again, just right of centre. Midway inside the opposition half of the field, fizzes that one into Torres, and it's a first-time layoff. Lopez with the run from midfield, keeps it down. Too close to Simon. Well fielded by Spain's number one. Barcelona are starting to turn up the tempo here. Athletic Club back in possession though. Boiro with space to move down this near left-hand side. Needs help inside. Koundé tracks him into the middle of Barcelona's half, and that's a poor ball from Rego. Cut out by Rafinha, and then Rafinha's caught. Free kick in favour of Barcelona. Berenguer is pleading his innocence there. He does get a bit of the ball, but he also takes a little chunk of Rafinha as well. Barcelona quickly want to get on with this. Bardghji trying to twist and turn away from Boyro. Defected cross. Falls for Lopez. Falls for Torres. Turned home by Torres. Goal for Ferran Torres. And the Athletic Club players go straight to the referee. And Bardghji's cross only half deflected away. Fermin Lopez so tigerish in them situations. Never gives up a lost cause. And Ferran Torres, 10 yards out, swivels, right-footed, and buries that beyond Simon. The referee Escuderos is immediately in conversation here with Iñaki Williams. You have to see a replay to gauge exactly what he is unhappy about. There's a claim here that Torres is offside. It certainly doesn't look as if he is. Arezzo, the deepest defender there, playing him on. I'd be shocked if this needs a check. 12 goals for the season so far. I beg your pardon, 14 goals for the season so far. He's got 11 in the league. Ferran Torres does it again for Barcelona this season. 22 minutes gone. Barcelona have the breakthrough. Williams just being informed here that won't be reviewed because Arezzo clearly playing Torres onside. Possession given away right from the restart here. Barcelona back on the ball. Here's Kubasi. Space to step forward from the edge of the Barcelona penalty area. Koundé to Pedri. Now Fermin Lopez. Played a real floating role tonight, Fermin Lopez, popping up all over the place. He's supposed to be in a number 10 role according to the official team sheet, with Bardghji and Rafinha out wide, but he's happy to drop in and help Pedri and De Jong as needed. And as we've seen in the last few minutes, he will bomb past Torres. A really vital and versatile player for Hansi Flick. Here he is again. Finds Bardghji down this right hand side. He'll step away from Boyo. Link up here, Pedri and Lopez. Athletic Club just not able to lay a glove on Barcelona at the moment. 74% possession in the last 10 minutes for Barcelona. As Koundé's cutback just rolls past Fermin Lopez. And that will be pulled back for infringement in favour of Athletic Club. Lopez in slipping after that pass came through. Just drags back one of the Athletic Club midfielders. So chance for Valverde's side to reset here. Sloppily given away though on the halfway line. Sonset and Williams quite on the same page there. And De Jong will take over. Here is Garcia, Pedri, De Jong again. Athletic Club starting to snap into a few more challenges there. Berenga chasing around after Pedri and De Jong, but to no effect really. Here's Pedri once more. Kubasi on the centre circle, pings it over to this near right hand side for Koundé to move forward. Balde, who's been watched a little more carefully by Berenguer. So it looked, he's just breezed past him there, but the ball into Torres is cut out by Dani Vivian. This is relentless from Barcelona. Athletic Club barely seen the ball in the last 10-15 minutes. They started so brightly with those corners in quick succession. The effort for Sonset kept out by Joan Garcia, but since then it's been all one-way traffic. Here's Bardghji, just feeds that up to the edge of the 18-yard box for Lopez. He's tracked there though by Paredes. A throw in for Barcelona. Down this near right-hand side, pushed right in front of the Athletic Club penalty area. Quickly taken between Bardghji and Koundé. Swept over to that left-hand side. Now, chance for Rafinha to run at Arezzo. Athletic Club almost playing themselves into bother there. And Vivian does well, just about to get it away to Arezzo, and then Williams with the little layoff on halfway for Berenguer. Tries the switch across the pitch here. João Guitar will not be able to keep that one in play. Navarro just gives a thumbs up there for the pass. He was the second player charging onto the scene. Barcelona back in possession. Here is Balde over at left back. We shouldn't be too surprised by this performance from Barcelona. They're landed here on the back of an 8-game winning run across all competitions. Chelsea, the only team to beat them in 13. And they're the reigning champions and the kings of this competition. 15 titles in total, including that 5-2 final win over Real Madrid last season. Made a very, very positive start here tonight. Poor header on halfway there, and Rafinha will try and get Ferran Torres away down that left-hand side, tracked by Vivian. Rafinha will go again. Just tried to fire that into a dangerous area. Rafinha is easily gobbled up by Unai Simon. Athletic Club looking to get a bit more zip into their game. Sunset tries to go quickly up to the feet of Iñaki Williams, but it's dealt with by Garcia. Barcelona will ride again once more. We should give Athletic Club a little credit. Their last title in this competition came in 2021, where they beat Barcelona. Just the third time they've won this competition, but we'll give them a bit of positivity to work with. Last time they met in this competition, they slipped up last season. Barcelona went on to win it, of course, losing in the semi-finals, and Barcelona are unbeaten in their last 4 against the Basque Giants. Here comes Rafinha over the halfway line as we tick beyond the half-an-hour mark here. Still Barcelona 1, Athletic Club 0. Ferran Torres with his 14th goal of the season so far. I can confirm that we are underway across all 6 7:30 PM Premier League kickoffs. Torres tries once more to link with Rafinha over on that left-hand side to the byline for the Brazilian. Cut back here for Fermin Lopez. Goal! Barcelona 2-0. And that is absolutely ruthless from Fermin Lopez. So dangerous in those positions. And he grabs his 8th goal of the campaign. And Barcelona are in cruise control here. Torres and Rafinha once again linking up to devastating effect. Rafinha to the byline, and the cutback sits up perfectly 7-8 yards out. It could have been Lopez, it could have been Bardghji, and it is battered home by the Spain international. Athletic Club just no answer for that. Dani Vivian not strong enough against Ferran Torres. What a pick out that is from Rafinha. Goes back across goal. Lopez takes it left-footed, just steers it confidently beyond Unai Simon. What a start this is from Barcelona. As we get ourselves ready to kick off, we can just spin through the details on those Premier League games. It's Bournemouth at home to Tottenham, Brentford hosting Sunderland, Crystal Palace at home to Aston Villa, Everton taking on Wolves, Fulham hosting Liam Rossini in his first game as Chelsea boss, and then Manchester City against Brighton and Hove Albion. once more. Athletic Club just not able to hold on to the ball after a quick restart. Frankie de Jong lifts that over Berenguer for Balde. Drives the ball in behind straight away. Torres trying to stretch Vivian. He's headed out for a throw in for Barcelona. Over on that far left hand side, 30 yards from the opposition goal. There's Koundé. To the feet of Torres there, just spins away from Vivian. Lovely from Pedri. Pops that through the legs of Berenguer. And Barcelona on the march once more. Balde to the byline this time, tries to clip it high into the box, but Simon will claim this time. Athletic Club just not able to live with Barcelona. I dare say we will be seeing Nico Williams and maybe one or two others at the break. As Ernesto Valverde tries to wrestle his way back into this game. As it stands, Barcelona look to be on their way to the final once more. Featured in all three of the last finals in this competition, twice winners in 2023 and then last season. They come away again here again. Once Bardghji dips away from Buyuk. Can he get a shot on goal here? Big save, and he spills, and it's in the back of the net. And Barcelona have three. And that is a horror show from Unai Simon. Bardghji steps away from Buyuk. And from a tight angle inside the box, he just pings it on goal. And Simon initially appeared to have it covered. It squirts through his grasp and into the back of the net. And with 34 minutes gone here, it could be already game over. Bardghji happy to drive at Buyuk. Steps away from him. And more hopeful than anything from him. It was a difficult angle to do anything. Goes with his right foot this time. And Simon, normally so dependable in that type of situation, not able to keep it out. Rafinha celebrates as the ball trickles into the back of the net. Rooney has his goal. Barcelona, as we edge towards the half-time whistle here in Jeddah, are 3-0 in front. Athletic Club are needing a miracle if they're to force themselves back into this one. Here is Buyuk over the halfway line for Navarra to test his pace against Koundé. Loses out as the Frenchman just steps across him there. Bardghji with the layoff to Lopez. Manages to win the turnover from Rego. A little dink over the top for Ferran Torres, but Simon will get there first this time. Volleyed up to the halfway line, but Athletic Club have lost battle after battle in there so far tonight, and Rego and João Guissar unable to live with Pedri and de Jong. Here is the Dutchman into the feet of Rafinha. At this stage of the game, the two managers might be thinking of resting players. Barcelona for the final at the weekend, and Athletic Club for their return to domestic action. They take on Cultural Leonesa in the Copa del Rey next Wednesday. Barcelona away at Racing Santander in the last 16 of that competition. Don't see much movement on either bench at the moment to indicate that a change is incoming at the break, but Valverde has to do something to avoid a real capitulation here tonight. Here's Koundé. Pops that over the halfway line for Bardghji. He's full of confidence now. Tries to fire that through for Rafinha. Danny Vivian just about gets back on the edge of his own penalty area to deal with that. Rafinha was claiming handball against him, but referee claims that he played it onto himself by accident. Little reprieve there as Navarro again tries to test himself against Koundé. Koundé goes to the ground, concedes the throw-in. Now that does catch Danny Vivian on the arm, but as he's flying through the air, you do have to slightly give him the benefit of the doubt. Possession just turned over once more for Athletic Club. Boiro against Bardghji. It'll be a goal kick for Barcelona. Here's Kubasi. Midway inside his own half of the field. Barcelona pushed up nice and high once more. They want more goals. Considering how relentless they've been in the opening 39 minutes here. Who could blame them? Lopez into the feet of Bardghji on the halfway line. Lovely spread from the youngster. Spots the run of Rafinha over on that far side. He'll try and get Arezzo backing off into his own penalty area. Rafinha goes for goal! What a finish by Rafinha! And this is absolutely knockout stuff from Barcelona. Arezzo backing off and backing off, and Rafinha rockets that into the roof of the net. What a finish from the Brazilian. This is an incredible first half performance from Barcelona. Thousands of their fans here in the King Abdullah Stadium in Jeddah. And that's the best goal of the lot so far. Brilliant wing-to-wing play. Bardghji to Rafinha. And he only had one thing on his mind here. Get Arezzo back where he didn't want to be. And then he just spots that little avenue. Opens it up, left-footed. Simon again doesn't cover himself in glory. Just a great little change of feet there as he entered the penalty area, and bang! No chance for Simon. And Barcelona 4-0 in front here. This is outrageous. Absolutely outrageous. Still 5 minutes to go in this first half, of course. Athletic Club players already look like they want to get into the dressing rooms here in Jeddah. And we can bring you news of just the one goal in the 6 Premier League 7:30 kickoffs. That's come at the Vitality Stadium. Tottenham 1 goal to the good via Matthias Tell. Goalless elsewhere. Can Barcelona make it 5 before the break? Torres, Lopez, Bardghji and Rafinha. Another ball over the top there, almost outfoxes Arezzo. Rafinha was sniffing around, but Simon will get it away. Barcelona really laying down a marker here. Real Madrid and Atletico will both be watching on. Whoever comes through that semi-final tomorrow should be a really, really good final. Correct myself, actually the final is on Tuesday evening. It is 7 PM start. 13th of January, not the weekend. An awkward ball there floated into the box. Danny Vivian almost heading it back on goal. Simon's had to tip that round the post for a corner. Nothing has gone right for Athletic Club so far this evening. Yeah, my apologies on that one. The Spanish Super Cup final will be Tuesday night, and we do have live coverage 7 PM sharp back here at the King Abdullah Stadium in Jeddah. Barcelona, I think we can safely say, will be there. That'll be one of the Madrid giants up against them. Corner rolled short to Frenkie de Jong, cleared away this time though by Athletic Club. They've got a chance to charge away here. Berenguer down the right hand side, he's got options in field, and that is a really poor ball. Williams will just about keep it alive and go back for Berenguer, floated into the box. Sunset off the post, and how's your look, Athletic Club? They've been absolutely pummeled by Barcelona, and that is their biggest chance of the night by a mile. Full credit to Williams there. The ball behind him was a bad one, and Berenguer just floats it in first time into a dangerous area. Sunset had Joan Garcia beaten, but it is back off the upright. Barcelona remain 4-0 in front. Just 2 minutes of regulation time to play here. Here's Koundé. Space to just nudge over the halfway line and find Bardghji. Lovely feet there from Barcelona's men of the moment. Taken off him though eventually by Navarro, who ran into a bit of traffic, but he's done well there just to out-battle Koundé. The ball forward is cut out by Barcelona, but it will be pulled back for a foul by Koundé on Navarro. So there'll be a chance here for Athletic Club to get a ball into the box right before the half-time whistle. Try and potentially cause a problem or two. Brilliant effort from Sunset. Couldn't have done any more. The free kick is played short. Rolled forward into Williams, who again just turns into trouble, and Garcia picks his pocket. It's been the story of the night so far for pretty much everybody in red and white. Repeat what I said a moment ago. There's every chance that pragmatism kicks in here for Ernesto Valverde, and he tries to keep an eye on certain players ahead of a Copa del Rey trip, and then a few very, very important games in January, not just in the Champions League. They also are on the road at Mallorca and Sevilla to try and drag themselves up from 8th in the table as it stands. Final few seconds of the first 45 minutes here. Here's Eric Garcia. Floats that long ball over the top of the Athletic Club midfield, once more taken down by Bardghji. Barcelona pushed up right on the edge of their opponent's 18-yard box. Fermin Lopez takes over. Now Kubasi. Chance for one more attack here, possibly. It's only a single additional minute added on by Escuderes and the team of officials here tonight. Koundé. Pressure here from Navarro, so he'll go back for Kubasi. Back over to Balde. He's been very, very good for Barcelona tonight. Constant outlet over on that far left-hand side. Berenguer and Arezzo floundering in their attempts to deal with him and Rafinha, and been a similar story on this left-hand side with Koundé and Bardghji. Barcelona players already throwing out a few party tricks here, even before we've hit the interval. Here's De Jong, just rolls that into that right channel for Bardghji to give chase. Deep cross into the box for Rafinha, and he's absolutely hammered that a mile over the top of Unai Simon's crossbar. Fermin Lopez in midfield. And the remaining 3 goals for the Catalans split across their front 3. Boiro in defence, Rego, Jauguizar and Sonset in midfield, Navarro, Berenguer and the captain Iñaki Williams in attack. So we are back underway here, and Athletic Club have forced themselves a throw-in over on the far left-hand side, just in front of Barcelona's penalty area. Boiro tosses it in, but it's headed away. Just in he'll battle with De Jong. A loose ball, helped out there by Paredes. Lovely little turn there to try and create a chance on the edge of the penalty area. It was Rego. Eventually just was bumped off it by Pedri. And I will bring you up to date on all the latest Premier League scores in just a moment or two. We've been blessed with a flurry of goals in the last few minutes, so Bournemouth Bournemouth have got themselves an equaliser at home to Tottenham. Ivan Nielsen levelling things up for the Cherries. It's Brentford 1, Sunderland 0. Igor Thiago continuing his incredible run of recent form to put the Bees ahead at home to the Black Cats. Possible chance here for Barcelona. Ferran Torres racing away over the top, and he's forced a corner, so he can just spin through those latest. Igor Thiago with the goal, as I mentioned, to put Brentford in front at home to Sunderland. Crystal Palace 0, Aston Villa 0, Everton 1, Wolves 0. Michael Keane with the goal. Fulham 0, Chelsea 0, but Marc Cucurella has been sent off on Liam Rossinia's first game as Chelsea manager, and it is Manchester City 0, Brighton 0. All of those games are around 5 or 6 minutes away from half-time, and Bournemouth are now in front at home to Tottenham. Krupi with the goal. Corner here taken by Fermin Lopez and flicked on by Torres, gathered in by Simon. Athletic Club looking to get on with this one quickly. If to stage what would be an almighty comeback, they need to get on with it, and they need to find something very, very quickly here. Ball in behind the Barcelona defence again fails to yield anything. Williams not able to get onto it. Here is Eric Garcia on the halfway line, rolled into the feet of Alejandro Balde. Just checks back momentarily and then goes for the 1-2 with Pedri. Berenguer gets back to cover at right back for Athletic Club. Here's Arezzo. Nico Williams was amongst the group of Athletic Club players who were sent out to warm up by Ernesto Valverde at the break. I do expect that we will see him at some point this evening. The player who for so long was linked with a move to Barcelona, only to sign a decade-long contract extension to stay in Bilbao. It doesn't necessarily mean that he won't leave, of course. There's fresh Premier League interest in him as well. Athletic Club failed to qualify for the Champions League this season. That could place even more pressure on their position. Garcia just spins that one over to Koundé. So first 5 minutes of the second half. If you're a little late rejoining us here at the King Abdullah Stadium in Jeddah, still Barcelona 4, Athletic Club 0. Williams there just has the ball pinched off his toe by Frenkie de Jong inside the centre circle, and there really has been very little for him to hold on to tonight. The service hasn't been great, but it's not been a stellar performance from him either. Here's Kubasi, rolled over the halfway line for Koundé, just forward from right back for Barcelona. Garcia pops that through the lines, lovely turn for Pedri, fed on to Rafinha, chance here on the edge of the box, just couldn't quite get it out of his feet. De Jong will pick up the spare though. Bardghji stepping in on that left foot, lays it off here. Pedri with the chance, blocked. Pedri again, finds Lopez, who fizzes it across. Barcelona just can't turn it home. Bardghji! And eventually it sits up for Rafinha. who clatters it home. Bardghji there initially looked as if he was going to strike it, but he gets the shout from Rafinha, and he has banged that home into the bottom corner. It almost looked as if the two players were going to go for the same ball there as it sat up. There's 3 or 4 chances inside the penalty box there for Barcelona to score. Pedri, Torres, Bardghji, and then finally Rafinha. Lopez's ball across the 6-yard line, just tipped away by Unai Simon. And as I say, as it sits up here, and Bardghji looks as if he's going to take a swing. He gets the shout from Rafinha. He was the better option, and he just thrashes that into the bottom corner. 5-0 to Barcelona. And this is an absolute procession here from the defending Spanish Super Cup champions. Athletic Club want to get on the march quickly here. Almost a half chance there as Sunset broke into the penalty area. He's claiming that the final touch came off a Barcelona player. He wants a corner. No, says the referee. Just a direct ball played downfield by Simon. Williams wrestling with Eric Garcia. Berenguer helps it on to Sunset. It certainly does look as if Alejandro Balde gets back there and he's involved, whether he gets a touch or not. It was a great little moment after that goal between Bardghji and Rafinha. Rafinha effectively holding his hands up to say, yeah, I know that was a chance for you, but it was a better chance for me, and I'm the captain. Here is Bardghji on a really, really good night. The Sweden international floated into the box, knocked down by Rafinha for Ferran Torres. Tried to just maybe be a bit too clever and get it back to Rafinha there. And then Balde is tracked towards the corner flag down this near left-hand side by Berenguer. It will be a throw-in for Barcelona now. Athletic Club are going to make a triple change here. Valverde's just signalled over to the referee. 10 minutes into the second half here in Jeddah. 4 goals down at the break. They're 5 down now. And that little eye on busy few weeks on the horizon has likely changed Ernesto Valverde's mind here. It is Sunset, Navarro and Williams who are off. Rosetta will go straight up top in place of Williams. Unai Gomez is a likely replacement there for Sunset, and the third change, we're just waiting for confirmation. It looks as if it is Ruiz, and it is Ruiz. Go into the midfield alongside Rego and João Guithar. They add a bit of energy, a bit of impetus for Athletic Club in the closing stages of the game here. So just to confirm, Rosetta, Ruiz and Gomez on, Williams, Navarro and Sunset off for Athletic Club. Anticipate that Ernesto Valverde will follow suit soon and to rotate a few of his players off. As I mentioned, cup action on the 14th for both of these teams. Racing Santander of the Segunda Division will host Barcelona. It's in the last 16 of the competition. Athletic Club away at Cultural Leonesa. Koundé's away down the right hand side here. Thought about the first time cross, but he's well tracked there by Paredes. And then eventually the offside flag does flash up against the Frenchman. And then it's league action, of course, on the weekend of the 17th and the 18th. Barcelona taking on another Basque side away at Real Sociedad. Athletic Club head to Mallorca. Another change here just before the hour mark for Athletic Club. Boiro, the left back, is exited over on that far side. He's got the signal to head off. After a slight delay, Inigo Lecue will be introduced as his replacement. A chance here for Athletic Club. If this ball can bounce kindly for Berenguer, it does. He just lashes it over the top of Joan Garcia's crossbar. It's the second time in this second half a direct ball up from Simon has caused a problem for Barcelona, and that was arguably an easier chance than the one that fell for Sunset. Garcia sliding in there, might have just put him off at the last moment, but he's thumped that over the bar. Half chances here and there for Athletic Club, but other than Sunset hitting the post in the first half, they've not really been able to make too much of an impact. Here's Balde, rolls it up to the halfway line for Lopez, who's pulled back by João Guithar. The referee just wants to pause play here for a moment to have a word with João Guithar. Despite all of the frustration of how the game has gone, Scuderos doesn't want to tolerate any bad challenges. There's not been any yellow cards yet, as both of these sides still battle away. Rafinha just can't quite gather that one in. Loose ball will eventually just fizz its way into the hands of Unai Simon. So we'll give a half-time update on all those Premier League games as we tick towards the break for the 7:30 PM matches. Another sloppy ball in midfield, give it away. Rafinha here, rolled across to Bardghji. Again, Barcelona potentially a victim of being too overly picturesque about the way that they're trying to finish off this game. Bardghji tried to return the favour to Rafinha, then tried to pop it in towards Ferran Torres. Corner played short, De Jong will float it in. Falls at the feet of Lopez, who will float it back over to the right hand side of the penalty. Rafinha knocks it across. Aressa with the header down. He's wrestling away here with Eric Garcia, and he's lost out to Garcia. Eventually, a really poor ball forward from Danny Vivian is intercepted by Frenkie de Jong. So we are over the hour mark here. As promised, we can give you the latest scores across the 7:30 PM games in the Premier League. 1-0 to Brentford at home to Sunderland. Igor Thiago, who's bang in form, of course, is giving Keith Andrews, his team, the advantage there. Crystal Palace 0, Aston Villa 0. No goals at Selhurst Park so far. Everton 1, Wolves 0. Michael Keane with the breakthrough there. It's Fulham 0, Chelsea 0. No goals, but there has been a red card. Marco Correa sent off in Liam Rossinia's first game as Chelsea manager. And then elsewhere it is Bournemouth 2, Tottenham 1. And Manchester City finally have the breakthrough. Erling Haaland from the penalty spot, meaning that Pep Guardiola's team are 1-0 in front at home to Brighton. We are underway in Burnley against Manchester United and Newcastle against Leeds. There's another change there made in the break in play. Selton Sanchez is on. Rego is replaced in the Athletic Club midfield. 5 changes made by Valverde, not one by Hansi Flick so far. possibly be keeping certain players on the bench for the final. There's plenty of players here starting tonight that will be expected to do the double and face either Real Madrid or Atletico. I do just have to issue a slight correction there. Just had it confirmed that Fulham did in fact score before half-time. It was being checked, but has now been confirmed. Harry Wilson with the breakthrough, so Chelsea a man down and a goal down at Craven Cottage. Plenty of excitement in the Premier League tonight. Darren Fletcher, of course, taking charge of his first game as interim Manchester United boss. It's a poor clearance from Joan Garcia. Frankie de Jong can't quite take it down. It's a scuffed strike on goal. Easily defended away though. Garcia just with a withering look for his Dutch teammate. Flick will not want his team to take their eye off the ball here. Really done well to hunt Athletic Club down there. Fermin Lopez. Pedri with the initial challenge finds his Spanish teammate. Now Balde. No, he can actually go back on that one. That decision has been overturned for Fulham. My apologies for the confusion. You can blame the VAR officials on that one. So Harry Wilson's goal has been chalked off and the half-time whistle has blown, and it is 0-0. My apologies. Conflicting information that we were receiving on that one. It is Fulham 0, Chelsea 0, and it is half-time across the board in those 7:30 PM Premier League matches. 25 minutes to go here. And Barcelona, 5 goals to the good, are going to make a triple change. Gerard Martin, straight swap for Alejandro Balde at left back. Rafinha, who's bagged a couple of goals here tonight. Job well done. He'll be replaced by Marcus Rashford, and Marc Bernal, a player who's really struggled with injuries over the last 18 months, is rolled on to replace Frankie de Jong, so that will mean a change of captaincy with Rafinha and de Jong off. I would anticipate it'll be Pedri. 3 changes for Barcelona for the final 25. Rashford, Martin and Bernal on. Balde, Rafinha and de Jong off. And it certainly would not rule out another goal or two here tonight. Here's Rashford. Space to charge away down this left-hand side. Keen to get involved right away. Cuts in field, that's deflected. Behind for a corner. This is his Spanish Super Cup debut, of course, Marcus Rashford. For confirmation over his long-term future here, of course. Brought in on loan from Manchester United at the start of the campaign. 6 goals so far. 9 assists as well for the England international. He's loving life in Catalonia. Will that be enough to secure him a permanent move from Old Trafford? Corner swung in and claimed by Simon. They might only be playing for pride here, but those changes made by Valverde are certainly willing to carry the fight to Barcelona. As Gomez goes right in there on Gerard Martin on the halfway line. Rashford and just steps away from João Guithar and he's caught. Be a throw-in for a free kick rather for Barcelona. And this near left-hand side, just over the halfway line. Here's Koundé. Nice little pop round the corner on the centre circle there by Pedri, but not read by Torres and Lopez. Simon with the clearance. Kouassi just tries to volley that down into the path of Bardghji. He was claiming a foul there, but the ball forward to try and release Selton Sanchez in behind is easily gathered in by Joan Garcia. Athletic Club will now try and build over on that far left-hand side. Koundé's got some defending to do here, but he's done well just to shackle Berenguer momentarily. Athletic Club number 7 has switched wings after that flurry of changes. João Guithard lines one up and it's deflected and spins straight into the hands of Garcia. There's Rashford, Martin. Barcelona just looking to take the sting out of that 5 minutes of pressure from Valverde's team. This is where the professionalism really kicks in. The game is done, the result is secure, the final spot is wrapped up. Stay switched on, concentrated to get over the line for a clean sheet. Long pinged ball over the top from Koundé, taken down by Rashford. Good timely intervention there by a combination of Vivian and Paredes. Now Koundé has some defending to do over on that far side as Berenguer chases him backwards. As well, just to opt for caution back to Joan Garcia. Gerard Martin, space to get away down this left-hand side, cuts it back towards Rashford on the edge of Athletic Club's penalty area. He can't quite gather. Fermin Lopez gets a toe in, as we've seen quite a few times tonight, just to edge Barcelona back into possession. Pedri takes over on the halfway line. Minutes of regular time to go here. Could make a case that Athletic Club deserve at least a goal. It's never nice to see a team just dismantled like this with very little to show for it. They've certainly showed some fight in the last 15 minutes or so with those changes, and forced a couple of saves from Garcia. Sunset's hit the post as well. Quarter of an hour mark in those two Premier League games. It can bring you news of a goal at Turf Moor. Darren Fletcher's start to life as interim boss of Manchester United suffered an early setback. Bashir Humphreys with the goal for Burnley. The Clarets have the lead over Fletcher's Red Devils in that one. Newcastle nil, Leeds nil at St James's Park. It's Martin, he's got the freedom of this left flank to gallop forward once more for Barcelona. Rashford just in field here, midway inside Athletic Club territory. Eric Garcia takes over, now Rashford. Pedri, back for Rashford once more. Trying to work himself an angle there from distance, Marcus Rashford, but he couldn't quite shake off the attentions of a couple of Athletic Club defenders. Flick is going to make 2 more changes here. Dani Olmo and Lamine Jamal. Rooney Bardghji is the player to be replaced in favour of Barcelona's superstar number 10. Got his goal tonight. For a reminder to the manager of his capabilities when needed. Both he and Pedri get a rousing applause from the thousands of Barcelona fans that are here in Jeddah. So Lamine Yamal for Bardghji and Olmo for Pedri. Brilliant night for him as well. Didn't get on the goal sheet, Pedri, but absolutely ran that midfield once again for Barcelona. It's a little break here to preserve his legs for the final. Rushed clearance there from Unai Simon. Dani Olmo's first involvement there. Chests it off to Marcus Rashford. Goes for the return pass, Olmo, but it's Simon who gets there first. The long ball pumped forward by Simon that just doesn't stick with the red and white attack. Barcelona have worked really, really hard to preserve this clean sheet that they've maintained for 74 minutes. That's the focus for them here now, the changes that have been made with an eye on that final next week. Very, very curious to see how Hansi Flick lines up for that one. Eric Garcia with a long searching ball down this left channel to try and get Rashford away. Resso reads that one. And knock it out of play for a throw-in for Barcelona. Here's Olmo dropping back just over the halfway line to try and pick up the tempo of the game. Not actually seen anything from Lamine Yamal just yet. He's taken position right over on that far right-hand side, stuck to the touchline. Up against Yakure. As we all know, with Barcelona's magic man, it only takes one moment. He'll be a certainty to start the final, surely, despite Rooney Bardghji's impressive evening here. Lamine Yamal is untouchable in this Barcelona team. Rashford pings that one forward, lovely knock down for Lamine Yamal, who tries to float it in for Ferran Torres. If that's his first involvement, that was pretty special. Lopez with it. Great little bit of invention there to head it into Lamine Yamal's pass, go for the Trivela. It's gathered in though by Unai Simon, a frustrated Unai Simon. That's the confidence of this young man. First touch of the game. Spots the double run there of Torres and Lopez. Simon was decisive in between the two Barcelona players though. So just taking a look at this team that could possibly start in the final. Joan Garcia, the first choice all season. Koundé, Kouassi, Balde in defence. Eric Garcia, who started in midfield against Espanyol at the weekend and was shuffled back there in place of Gerard Martin. That's one possible point of contention. Man again with the outside of the boot ball, looking for a runner from deep. Simon will deal with that one. Pedri and De Jong will start. Lamine Yamal in place of Bardghji. Rafinha and Ferran Torres, you would anticipate, will stay as they are. Robert Lewandowski, who does have 5 Super Cup goals, has stayed on the bench here tonight. It's another decision for Flick to make. Based on the balance of the season so far, you would tip for Torres. And for me, Fermin Lopez has been absolutely fantastic tonight in pretty much every aspect of his game. Not a natural left-sided player like Marcus Rashford, but that tenacity and ability to cover a lot of ground will be needed against either of the two Madrid sides. Chance here for Athletic Club to break in behind. Chance for a goal, and it's been wasted. That was the moment for Unai Gomez, as Barcelona had pushed high up to the halfway line. It was given away, and he was too strong and too powerful for Gerard Martin here. Just steps across him onto his left foot, 12 yards out. He's slipping as he takes the chance on. It flies past Joan Garcia's post, and that might just have been the one opportunity that they will get to make something from this game. We are back underway in those 7:30 PM Premier League games. Rashford, lofted ball forward, tries to pick out the run into the Athletic Club box by Ferran Torres. Dani Vivian gets there first and clears away. Barcelona want to throw in and they'll get it. Just didn't quite get there in time to clear it downfield, so a throw in for Barcelona right on the edge of Athletic Club's box down this near left-hand touchline. Just a quick reminder on those Premier League scores as they get back underway. Bournemouth 2, Tottenham 1, Brentford 1, Sunderland 0, Crystal Palace 0, Aston Villa 0, Everton 1, Wolves 0, Fulham 0, Chelsea 0, Manchester City 1, Brighton 0, Burnley 1 goal in front at home to Manchester United, and goalless at St James's to Newcastle and Leeds. Good build up down the Barcelona right. Lamine Yamal will step in here, blocked away, fizzed back in on goal by Fermin Lopez, who's covered every inch of this pitch tonight. There's just a wall of red and white shirts in front of him there, throwing themselves for the block. It was him who created the opportunity initially for Lamine Yamal. We've seen him do that so many times, just step in on that left foot and try and whip it past the goalkeeper. Thwarted by Ruiz, and then Lopez sees the door slammed in his face as well. So we're into the final 10 minutes here at the King Abdullah Stadium in Jeddah. Barcelona look to ease on to another Spanish Supercup final. Victorious here in Saudi Arabia against Real Madrid last year. That was a brilliant final. 5-2 win for Hansi Flick as part of the domestic treble. Although it's robbed of possession on halfway by Dani Vivian. Athletic Club hoping to throw in a bit more caution to the wind here as they try and get a goal, anything to hang on to. Rashford's giving it away this time, and then João Guithar also gives it away all the way through to Joan Garcia. Lamine Yamal again with that cheeky little pass, trying to spring Torres and Lopez. They will land one of these times. He's so confident in those positions, always ready to try something different. Simon with the long ball forward. It's helped on there towards the corner flag. Berenguer will give chase, but succeeds in keeping it in play, but he's not able to make anything of it. Joan Garcia will claim. Here's Gerard Martin, forward from left back for Barcelona. It should be said that prior to this year, Barcelona have only missed the final once in the last 4 Spanish Supercopas. As part of the move in 2020 to a 4-team tournament, that was in 2022. Victorious in 23 and 25, but they've not won back-to-back Spanish Super Cups since the days of Pep Guardiola in 2010 and 2011. Athletic Club have won themselves a corner here, though, as Marc Bernal takes a shot in the face from João Guithar. Down this near right-hand side with 7 minutes of normal time to go. They'll rally the troops for this one. Berenguer flings it in, punched away by João Garcia. João Guithar with a drive, and saved by João Garcia. They want that goal. Time is against them here to get it. So Olmo pings it over to the right hand side. Lovely first touch by Lamine Yamal. Just flicks it back on the halfway line for Koundé. Now Kouassi. Pretty smooth night for Eric Garcia back there. So once again, if we were to go into prediction mode, I probably would back him to start the final. Fizz the ball over into that far channel. Unai Gomez will chase. Flag is up. There's obviously 2 Atletico players offside there. Guruzeta in the middle and Gomez over on the far side. No change in the opening 10 minutes or so of those restarted Premier League games. Bournemouth and Brentford both still in front at home to Tottenham and Sunderland respectively. Everton leading Wolves, and City in front at home to Brighton. It's goalless at Selhurst Park between Crystal Palace and Aston Villa, and at Craven Cottage. Liam Rossini's debut featuring a red card for Marc Correa. Five minutes of normal time to go here. Can Barcelona add to their 5 goals? Dani Olmo just trying to thread that through the lines for Fermin Lopez. Gets the thumbs up, but it's grabbed in by Unai Simon, and Barcelona will try and recreate something very quickly here. Torres, who did manage to open the scoring tonight, just not quite sharp enough in that situation. Simon bowled that out, and it's immediately turned over by Barcelona in the middle of Athletic Club's half. And then Fermin Lopez feeds that into the path of Ferran Torres, but he just takes an awkward touch off him, and Paredes can recover to concede the corner. Quickly taken by Rashford, clipped into the box by Bernal, headed away. There's an Athletic Club player gone down inside their own penalty area there. Referee will pull this back. Just looked like a head injury here. So regulations, of course, do stipulate that play has to be stopped. It's a substitute, Ruiz, who goes up there against Bernal. Clash of heads with the Basque midfielder coming out the worst on that one. Half an hour gone in the 8:15 Premier League games. Newcastle 0, Leeds 0, Burnley 1, Manchester United 0. Curious immediate change made by Darren Fletcher as he returned to a back 4. So Ruben Amorim's preferred 3-man defence has already been done away with. result as it stands is not going in Manchester United's favour. Ruiz just have to temporarily leave the pitch before he can come back on. Both teams have already made all 5 substitutions, so if he's not deemed able to return, Athletic Club will play the final couple of minutes or so with 10 men. He has now been ushered back onto the pitch by the referee. Athletic Club have won themselves a corner over on that far side. Selton Sanchez scrapping away. Final opportunity of the 90 here for Athletic Club to get players forward and try and launch an assault on the Barcelona goal. Rashford powerfully heads that away at the near post. Be a throw-in over on that far side. Selton Sanchez who picks it up, and he's been full of running since he's come on. Floated back over for Berenguer. So glance over the shoulder there, he thought he was offside. No, says the referee. Roll back onto the edge of the penalty area. Selton Sanchez here. Koundé just gets his body in the way. Hacks it away for another throw-in. Athletic Club pushed up right on the edge of Barcelona's penalty area. Koundé there up against Lecuey. Has conceded a throw-in right on the corner flag. João Guithar, lovely take there on the chest, tries to just toe it into the penalty area for Guruceta. He has been very quiet since he came on. Can he get a shot off here? No, he can't. Good defending there from Marc Bernal, who just hacks it away from him. Barcelona are digging in here. 5-0 or 1-0. Real grit, real determination from them. Kouassi there symbolising that with another booming clearance up towards the halfway line. It's eventually been dragged back for an offside there. It's Guruceta as the ball initially came in. And there has been a goal at St James's Park. It's gone in favour of the visitors. Brendan Aronson with the breakthrough just after the half-an-hour mark. Daniel Farke's team in the lead on Tyneside. The referee here just signalling to both sets of players that there won't be any additional time played. We are over the 90-minute mark, and Barcelona have absolutely strolled into the final of the Spanish Super Cup. 5 goals and an all-star performance here from the defending champions. Torres, Lopez, Bardghji and Rafinha doing the damage before the break. The Brazilian got another after the restart. But Barcelona, treble winners last season, are on course for 3, potentially 4 trophies this season. They'll face either Real Madrid or Atletico Madrid next Tuesday. But here tonight on Flash Score, it is full time from Jeddah. Barcelona 5, Athletic Club 0.